Welcome everyone. It's our last live stream before the final announcement of who's the winner. This is a song I wrote called Grandpa's Song.
Will you take my hand? 'Cause I'm a simple and honest man. Raise the cattle and work the land on the 8th line. 'Cause I've been watching you, and I know that you'll be true. I asked your dad if I could marry you. He said that'd be fine. Well, this is only the beginning of. Well, this is only the beginning of love. 50 years will pass us by in the blink of an eye. A time to live, a time to die, both day and night. And when the sun is getting low, you'll hold my hand and we'll both know we'll never reap where we have sown, but that's alright. 50 years. Will you take my hand? 'Cause I'm a simple and honest man. Clear the bush and plow the land to plant this seed. Maybe we won't be rich, 'cause I don't have that gambler's itch. Won't borrow money that I don't have for what we don't need. This is only the beginning of. This is only the beginning of love. 50 years will pass us by in the blink of an eye. A time to live, a time to die, both day and night. When the sun is getting low, you hold my hand and we'll both know we'll never reap where we have sown, but that's alright. 50 years. To those that I leave here, take hold of hope so strong and clear, that a selfless life, my dear, is in your reach. Dear friends and family, as you say goodbye to me, don't forget the lessons that a simple life can teach. This is only the beginning of. This is only the beginning of love. 50 years will pass us by in the blink of an eye. A time to live, a time to die, both day and night. When the sun is getting low, you hold my hand and we'll both know we'll never reap where we have sown, but that's alright. 50 years will pass us by in the blink of an eye. A time to live, a time to die, both day and night. When the sun is getting low, you hold my hand and we'll both know we'll never reap where we have sown, but
All right, everybody, welcome. Welcome to the show. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be emotional. You'll laugh, you'll cry. It's going to be better than cats, I promise. This is our very last live stream before we announce our final win. It's going to be really fun. I'm going to move this microphone out of the way. And it's just me and you and all the crew. So let's have a great time tonight. Tonight's presentation is the final live stream before the announcement, which is happening this Sunday. I'm calling this Why We Do This. The answer may shock you. So let's talk about this. So first of all, where are you tuning in from? And more importantly, what will you specifically scream if you win the Bunkie on Sunday? So where are you tuning in from? What will you scream if you win the Bunkie? If you could comment below, that would be killer. I would love to. I'm sure there'll be some funny ones. Check them out. So yeah, comment where are you tuning in from? What will you scream if you win the Bunkie on Sunday? So we did the same kind of fun thing on the last live stream, which was I believe Sunday. It was a ton of fun, and we picked Heather, my Queen of Awesome assistant helper. She picked a couple winners, so here they are. Liana Michelle Palmer. The question was, where are you tuning in from, and what have been your favorite things about the contest? So she said she's from Anmore, BC, and my favorite things have been the live streams and the awesome music. Well, thank you. That's very kind. Glad you've been enjoying the music. They're more just of a time killer while everyone joins the live stream, but I'm glad that they're hitting home. Mark Pfeiffer, and no relation to Michelle Pfeiffer. He's tuning in from Strathroy. I know Strathroy. And so far, the best part of the contest has been learning about and dreaming about all the things I could do with the Bunkie. Very cool. So, Mark and Liana, I'm gonna if you guys write in, email us and just give us your mailing address. I will personally send you a pack of these connection cards. So these are something we just put out. They're like a standard playing cards, ace, king, queen, but they also have cool little questions. Kind of like a cool thing to do around the cottage or when you have family over and friends over. And these questions are kind of like get to know you, kind of like, conversational connection kind of questions. Things like, what's the best thing about being in your family? What makes a good friend? What have you learned about yourself in the last year? These kind of cool things. And these are actually now officially on sale, but I'll talk about that later. That's part of the presentation tonight. So these connection cards, really, really cool. And so if you could comment below where you're tuning in from and what will you scream if you win the Bunkie, we'll get to tonight's presentation. So the question a lot of people have been posing is, how did Bunkie Life get started? Okay, so I always tell everybody, my spiel is, I'm David Fraser. I'm the founder of Bunkie Life, and we're in the building business or the construction business. But what we're famous for are small log cabins called bunkies that can be easily built in a weekend. Ultimately, what we do is help our clients create extra space for meaningful connection. And so how we originally got into this is I have a little place in the country, and we're just outside of this little town called Erin, kind of near Georgetown, in the greater Toronto area, basically, but out in the country. And so we had our first daughter, Evie, and we ran out of bedrooms. So my parents wanted to come visit, and Carrie's parents wanted to come visit. They both lived 3 or 4 hours away. And so we were solving this problem with a combination of couches and air mattresses, and sometimes they just wouldn't come at all. And I was getting messages from mom being like, David, this is just not working. I need a place. So my mom started sending me all these tiny homes and yurts and things like that. And I looked into a bunch of different options, and I kind of settled upon the Bunkie. Small, can fit into my backyard, doesn't need a permit, beautiful, made of wood, looks good on the inside and the outside, and I could build it. I basically built the entire thing in about 2 days with my wife and my father-in-law and my father helping. And so from there, being entrepreneurial, I was like, how can I make some money with this Bunkie? So I started occasionally renting out on Airbnb, and it kind of grew from there. People started asking, hey, Dave, can you get me a Bunkie? Make me a Bunkie. And so it kind of grew from there. And so, fast forward to today, we've sold kits all over Canada, even parts of the US. We've had some of our stuff go viral, reaching hundreds of thousands of people. The last contest we did actually had over 100,000 people in it. And we've even had the good fortune of having our product featured in an episode of Family Home Overhaul on the HGTV network that just came out. And just a ton of really interesting things like that are happening. But more importantly, we're solving problems for people. That's kind of what I look at it as. So, there's really, I think, three major problems our clients have, and it's the same problem I had, right? So, I'm not just the hair club president. I'm also the client. This solved my problem, and the problem for a lot of people is not enough space. You want to have guests come, you want to have space for your hobby, you want basically to achieve something, but there's just not enough space. And right now, I've noticed that a big problem everyone has is that they don't have enough information. Just like me, I had no idea what was out there, and so for me, it was like, okay, well, what are my solutions? I looked into additions at my house. I looked into, like I said, yurts and tiny homes, and just throwing my parents in a tent. And bunkies were something I didn't even know. I had to do all this research and learn all about it. So people don't have enough information about what the possibilities are. And what that ultimately kind of boils down to, fast forwarded. What that boils down to is they don't have enough connection. They're trying to meaningfully connect with their friends and family and the loved ones in their lives. And because they don't have the space, they don't have the connection. And I mean, I can personally test this. Obviously, I went through it myself, but I think what keeps, like myself, I think what keeps my clients up at night is that feeling that their kids and their grandkids are growing up and they're missing it because they're not there. So, when I think about Bunkie Life, ultimately it's all about creating human connection. Because, we sell cool bunkies. I think we sell the best bunkies on the block personally, but I'm a little biased. We sell, a really cool product. But if you think it's just about the bunkie itself, you've already missed the entire point. Really what this is all about is creating the space and the time for more meaningful connection. And having a bunkie is just like a part of the journey. It's like one of the ways to get there. It's not really about the space per se. It's about what does the space do? What does it enable? How does the bunkie facilitate connection and conversation with those people that really matter most? So for me, the bunkie allowed me to actually have my parents come. It allowed my parents and my in-laws to come and be with us and be there for us in a really tough time. So what I look at what we do and kind of the solutions and how we help our clients as number one, education and information. So, the live streams you've been tuning into for the past half a month, I'm trying to help people understand, like, this is what your options are. This is something that you can do yourself, or that is within reach for a lot of people. And I gave up on the idea of an addition because there's just way too much money at that time. But the bunkie I could afford, right? And I gave up on the idea of designing my own, because I'm not that handy, despite what the videos might say. But I could build from a kit, right? And I gave up on the yurt idea because I didn't want to live in a weird hippie tent. So education, information. What are bunkies? What's great about them? I think it's a big part of what we do. I think we really are the leader in that sense. Again, sorry guys. And then I think the second part of what we do is like the little kind of fun connection reminders. Things like the Bunkie Life cards. We do like other fun little events at our place. Just ultimately, they're little reminders, right? That connection is ultimately what this is all about. So we're selling this now. We also have a book coming out very soon that I'll talk about in a minute. And really, the core of what we do is we provide more space via the Bunkie kit, and you can also have us build it for you. So our Bunkie kit's really easy to do. Well, we've talked about them, so I don't need to get salesy on you. But that's kind of, I think, the three ways we help our clients solve those problems. How long was I muted for? No! People are probably yelling at me. Oh, okay, I wasn't muted for that long. Okay. Hopefully. All right, so this is kind of our story, and it ties into the bunkies really well. So we talked about, the family thing. And I have a real belief. And the belief is that family should come first. And when it comes to really being there for your family, there are no do-overs. Carrie and I have always had, I had a picture prepared. This is my babe of a wife, Carrie. We actually took this photo today. She's repping the Bunkie Life shirt there and looking good. So that's Carrie. And we've always had a dream of having a big family. ever since we got married, it was always like, we want to have a big family. This is Hope on the left and Evie on the right, being their typical selves. And we've always had the dream of having a big family. And so, early on, well, not early on, we were married for a while, and then we had our first daughter, Evie, who is now 7. This is her posing today. We said, "Hey, can you pose please?" And this is the move she came up with. These are the 2 best photos. the least ridiculous poses we got today. Evie came and she was an absolute joy. Other than the fact she never slept and cried all the time, we were just super pumped to have her, and went without a hitch. We had Evie, and it was like, everything went fine. And then a year went by, and we wanted to kind of consider adding to the family, so we started trying again, and then we got pregnant right away. And about 7 weeks into the pregnancy, we found out we lost the first baby. And it was one of those things. It was sad. It was really kind of a shock, because I was actually in the I remember I was in the ultrasound waiting for Kira to come out, and it was just this weird kind of thing that didn't happen. I was like chatting with another dad and being all dad. And so anyways, we lost the first baby, and it was hard, but people were telling us, hey, this is a common thing. This happens to a lot of people, and so it was kind of like the message was like, shake it off, try again kind of thing. So we did. And then once again, around like 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks, we found out we lost the second baby. And that's when it kind of started to feel like maybe this is a pattern here. So that's when we started, talking to doctors and getting a lot more advice. And so the kind of the regimen for people in our scenario was like, hey, it's okay, try again. Bad luck, but 2 in a row, it's not unheard of. And so we were put on aspirin and some other like progesterone, things like that. And so I'm gonna say we, I mean my wife. I wasn't taking any drugs. So we started that and that regimen. We tried again, and that's when we had Hope, who is our second daughter. Let me show you some photos of her. She's just an absolute joy. She's given the best name ever, because this is her. So she's now, just turned 4, and she's just a wonderful kid. And we were moving forward in the direction, and we kind of thought, okay, we've kind of solved the issue. We need to take the progesterone, we need to take the baby aspirin, and we're fine. And so, a couple years later, after Hope was old enough, we thought it's time to try again. And we were nervous because we lost 2 babies, and the 10-week kind of mark rolled around, which is where we lost the previous 2 roughly. And we're kind of holding our breath, and then week 11, 12, 13, 14, and we kind of let our breath out, and we started going, okay, we're through the woods. And we started telling friends and family and announcing it and things like that. And then around 17 weeks, we got the worst news ever, that there was no heartbeat. And it was a very hard to take thing. This was actually on New Year's Day, 2018. We got the news. And watching my wife go through this process, it's way more involved when you're that far along. And it was just horrible. It was really traumatic and terrible. And so we really debated with, are we going to try? Are we going to keep going with this? This is, the odds are not in our favor at this point. But they couldn't find out why this was happening, as they often don't. So we decided to try again. And that summer, 2018, we lost baby number 4 around 17 weeks again. And that was the hardest. Just having to see the grief on my wife's face and come home and tell the kids, we were, Hope and Evie were so excited about the brother and sister that was coming. We had told them. And, how do you explain to little kids, like, no, there's no baby coming, and, their little minds really can't comprehend that stuff, but it's just really, it's a hard thing to go through. and people don't talk about it. And that summer was the summer where Bunkie Life was really starting to take off, and it was really the first year. So I was traveling and building people's bunkies in all over cottage country, and I remember the feeling of waking up in the morning and kind of coming out of your dreamlike state and just feeling like, oh yeah, I'm waking up, and then all of a sudden, like, reality just feels like it's like a 20-ton pound resting on your head as soon as you realize, okay, this is what I'm going through, and I have to get up and find a way to put my family back together when I feel like I'm falling apart myself. And we were having a rough time with it. One of the things that made it bearable was having my parents and Carrie's parents come and just stay with us, be with us, and take an hour or two of the kids. I don't want to say the kids away from us, but take the kids, and kind of take care of them for a few hours, so Carrie and I could just attempt to talk through what we were going through. And we were really fortunate that we had our parents, and although they were far away, they were able to drop what they were doing and come and be with us, and it made a huge difference. It's something I'll never forget. It's just how Carrie's mom and dad, especially, just really just made time to come and be there, and having the bunkie there to escape to, really, and have people stay in, enabled that, because we don't live in a big house and we didn't have any other real options. And so I understand, like, the extent to what being there means for someone, and some of our friends, that we have a really good set of friends that have actually gone through 6 miscarriages, and they're older, and they finally had a daughter, and she's great, and it's a wonderful situation, but they've been through 6, and I remember talking to my friend and saying, hey man, I'm struggling with this, and I don't know if I can be the man and the father I need to be, and the husband I need to be in this scenario. I feel really, really down and really, really run over. And I remember what he said to me. It was very profound. He said, David, those babies that have died, what do you think they would say to you if they could? Do you think they would want you to just give up and just jump down there in the grave with them? Do you think they would want you to just mail it in and kind of coast through and get numb? What do you think they would say to you? I think what they would say is that, Daddy, we can't feel the sunshine in our face. We can't experience what it's like to be alive. We can't comfort Mommy. And we can't tell our sisters that it's going to be okay. But you can. And while we were going through this, I remember praying, and maybe praying is the right word. I think maybe the better word would be yelling and screaming at God and saying, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And if this is something that we have to go through, show me how this can be turned into something good. Show me how you're going to redeem this scenario. Because at that point, I couldn't see it. And so, this is not supposed to be super down. There's an upside to this story. Through the support of our family and our friends, we came out of this. We got a lot of counseling. We talked to a lot of people. and we decided to try again. And in the middle of being pregnant, I guess for whatever the time, the seventh time, eighth time, whatever it was, we found out what the problem was. And Carrie got diagnosed with this really rare blood condition. And like rare meaning like there's like 20 people that have it. It's like 1 in 100,000. So anyways, got diagnosed with that. She'll have a full life expectancy. And she just needed to take a certain kind of drug while she was pregnant. So she took that drug. And then this past year, so January of this year, we were blessed with Declan, and this is this is her today. This is a photo of her at 6 months. And I mean, I hope this is the upswing of the story. Sorry, I got a little sad there. We're just so blessed to have her. We're so grateful to have her. And while I was in the hospital, I was in the elevator and I was talking to this guy, really disheveled guy, who had been there for, I believe, 2 or 3 months with his premature baby. Because Carrie's kind of high risk, we were downtown Toronto for Declan's birth and all the checkups and everything, which were pretty frequent. And so I met this guy in the elevator at Mount Sinai in Toronto, and he was telling me about how basically he had been off work for like 2 months, and they'd been staying at a Ronald McDonald house downtown. And I'm like, man, like how are you pulling that off? Because he actually lived not too far from where I live. He lived in Orangeville, I think. And so he's like, yeah, it's been tough, and I can do it though because we have a place to stay. So for those of you who don't know, Ronald McDonald House is a charity, and they basically have places for families that are going through crises, like a sick kid, and they need a place close to the hospital. So the whole mission statement of Ronald McDonald House is keeping families close. And I actually have a friend, similar situation. They found out right before their baby. I mean, their kid is healthy and happy now, but they found out right before their daughter was going to be born that she needed like some crazy emergency surgery, and she'd be having a long stay at Sick Kids. And so Ronald McDonald House made that happen. They lived 2 hours out of the city. They would have been like completely unable to do that. So Ronald McDonald made that happen. And it occurred to me that building the Bunkie up on our hill was kind of like our little own Ronald McDonald House, that our parents could come and stay and be close and be there for us when we were going through one of the worst situations ever in our lives. And so that's one of the reasons that we've decided to partner with Ronald McDonald House. And so, we've pledged as of this past February that for every bunkie we sell, we're going to donate a night stay to a family in need at a Ronald McDonald House. And the reason why is because keeping family close is a huge thing, and I can personally attest to that. And we're only able to do this because of the amazing Bunkie Life community that we have. The people that support us, support our business, support our little family here. It's only possible through everyone's generosity. So that's kind of the story. I think I don't have any good family photos, but this has been an amazing year for us despite some challenges, obviously. And so I wanted tonight's presentation to be about if you're with me, I didn't type this in. Go to Bunkie Life Gives. No, sorry. Do this. Hold on. Type in the word Bunkie Life Gives into the comments. Okay, I want to see if people are tracking.
You're muted.
I'm not muted.
Yeah, everybody's messaging me and saying you're muted.
I'm not
for the
muted.
last 3 minutes.
Was I muted? Here. I was muted. Sorry guys, I was muted. Everyone's calling my wife's phone. Thank you for letting me know. What'd we miss? Okay. Okay. Classic Dave. I'll go back a little bit in the presentation. Sorry guys, I was muted. All right. So, I think we talked about the story. I think that got on there, right? The story. Let me go through it. Oh, the picture. You put the picture up. Okay. Someone throw in what's man. What's the last thing you guys heard? I gotta figure this out. Okay. I was about it for 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you heard the best part. Okay, you heard about. Okay, all you didn't. The only thing you didn't really hear about was the book. So let me just go into that. I'll go into that part. It's pretty simple. So, anyways, I'm writing a book. It's called Bunkie Life Extra Space. It's going to be amazing, and it's coming out for Christmas. Thanks for everyone who was so patient all year with me. I wrote it. It's already done. It's being edited, and just the final touches are being put on right now. And so anyways, all the proceeds from the book go towards Ronald McDonald House. Back in February, we had a goal of raising enough money to put up 30 families for one night. We smashed that goal back in February. And so we're doing the same thing again. And I don't know what the goal is going to be, but I want it to be big and huge. So here's kind of how it works. All right. The book, if you pre-order the book for Christmas, all the proceeds go towards Ronald McDonald House. And then, you can get a bunkie. So our pledge continues to be, when you buy a bunkie from Bunkie Life, we donate a stay to a family that could really, really use it. So you not only get to be a hero for your own family, Dad got us an epic bunkie, this is amazing, but you also get to be a hero for a family somewhere in Ontario or BC that really, really is going through a tough time and really can use the support. So for every Bunkie Life created, we put a family up, and then you can get the book and also the cards, all the connection cards. We're going to donate all that money towards Ronald McDonald House. That's kind of the summary. Okay, so I talked about how. I hope I'm not muted still. What are the next steps? If you want to participate with us, if you do, if you've been compelled tonight, and you've stuck out with me while I was muted for 5 minutes. Oh, geez. Then what I want to say is, let's do this together. Okay, so I want you to comment below, and I'll show you exactly what you need to comment. It needs to be Bunkie Life Gives, all one word. Okay? All one word. And that, if you're on Facebook, we should message you automatically, but if we don't, you can always just email me. I'm going to type that in too. Hold on. Just email me. You got my email. It's David at Bunkie Life. Subject. Bunkie Life Gives. Does that make sense? So if you're on YouTube or you're watching on Periscope or one of the other little platforms, you got to email because it'll only work on Facebook, but it might not work. Considering my luck tonight with technology, it's probably not going to work. But if you're interested, I'd love if you could comment below. But it has to be all one word. Bunkie Life Gives, all one word, and just put that in the comments below. I would really appreciate it. And like I said, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be buying a bunkie. That's a big purchase for some people. I get that. If you can't afford the book, that's okay too. But even $1, you can donate. And I'm going to show you how to do that because I actually did it this afternoon and filmed it. Just because there's a few steps, I wanted to show everyone how to do that. So in just a second, I'll show you how to do that. And then my goal is over the next probably 10 days, We'll kind of crunch all the numbers and see what we did, see what kind of results, what kind of good in the world we did, and we'll publish that just like we did back in February, kind of the culmination of what we raised. So does that make sense? Like I said, whatever you do, do it tonight. Do it before you go to bed. Make a commitment right now and type in Bunkie Life Gives, okay? Anyone who gives any amount, I'm going to give them a bonus copy of our latest album, Take a Stand, which is got that song I played at the beginning of the presentation, and also a copy of my third album, so album number 3 and album number 4, which are the best ones. Okay, so I'm going to lead the charge here. I'm going to show you how to give to the Ronald McDonald House charity, like specifically. So hopefully this doesn't get muted. Let's try this in the next one. Okay, here's how to quickly donate to Ronald McDonald House. Let's just do it live. I'll do it quickly here. So you're going to go to RMHC, Ronald McDonald House. So rmhccanada.ca/donate. Okay. Scroll down here. I'm going to donate once. I'm going to do, $50 sounds good. The amount does not matter. $1, that's fine. You can do $1. It's going to be a personal. And I'm going to do it from BC. Why not? It's our first time doing a BC thing. Let's do it on behalf of our BC. Do it to all the Ronald McDonald houses in BC. And I'm in honor of. I'm not going to do that. It's too much information. But if you want to do it in honor of someone special, you do that. That's great. Type your details here. David Fraser. Telephone number 1866 for Bunkie. I'm typing that right. Yep, good. Address 5296. And we're in Ontario, and we're in Erin. All right. And yes, I give permission for them to contact me. Then I'm going to enter my billing details. Probably not going to show you that, guys, but you would enter those in here, and then you would click Next Steps. Boom. Blah, blah, blah. All those details. Make sure you click You're Not a Robot, and then Submit Donation. It's that easy. Hopefully my credit card does not get declined. Okay, I did it. Okay, so this is the screen we want to see. Your generous donation of $50 can help. So take a screenshot of this guy right here, if you can, and send and email it to us. So email that once again to david@bunkylife.com with the subject line Bunkie Life Gives, and there you go. I will personally send you something amazing if you do this. All right, does that make sense, guys? Okay, thanks for sticking it out with me. This is a weird, emotional / muted conversation. It's been a lot of fun. This is the last of the core group of people that stuck with me through every single live stream, who are really like A+ participants. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of this. I'm super pumped for Sunday. So at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'll be announcing the Ontario contest winner. And then 7 p.m. Pacific Time, I'll be announcing the BC winner. So tune in on your respective time zone. And man, super excited. Do you guys want me to take a few questions tonight, or should we just call it a night? Because it's been a slice. Thanks for everyone who's calling my wife's phone, telling her I was muted. You guys all rock. It's amazing. Sounds like I'm just. Oh yeah, the secret word. Great question, Lisa Poole. The secret word is family first. All one word. That's the secret word. All right. Cool. All right. No one's got questions, which is good. That means I think I've hopefully nailed everyone's questions in the last 4 live streams. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for all your positive comments, everybody. And like I said, hopefully we've set it up where it will automatically message you. You got to type in Bunkie Life Gives, no hashtag. Ian asked, what is the BC connection? I've been to BC, and I just think it's a beautiful place, and have some family out there as well. So for us, it just makes sense. Like it's the next logical step of awesome people that will, I think, really benefit from bunkies. Not that we're like discouraging all the East Coasters or the Middle Coasters. We still have sold out there, but we're going to BC next because I think it makes the most sense next. The code word, Jules, is family first, all one word. That is the word. All right. All right. Well, hopefully, guys, hopefully this was helpful for you. Thanks for letting me have some group therapy here. And oh, Lisa Moore, do we put Bunkie Life Get? So I think Lisa is on YouTube. So Lisa, in your case, since you're not on Facebook, just email Bunkie Life Gives. Email David at Bunkie Life, and just have the subject line Bunkie Life Gives, and we'll send you the same thing. Basically, we just ask you, do you want to buy a book? Do you want to buy a bunkie? Or do you just want to donate? And then we can send you information about how to do any of those three things. That's kind of the idea. And if you don't know how to do a screenshot, don't worry about it. Just be honest and tell me that tell me what you did. Don't say you donated if you didn't. That would be I don't think anyone on here would do that. All right. So, here's a positive. It just works. Got the message. Okay, cool. So there's a whole kind of thing that'll take you through. But if you have any questions, you can always just email me, and we can sort you out of what you need to do. I'm scrolling down. It's been an amazing night, guys. Thanks for. And for typing in the code word, we'll have a button on the scoreboard page within about an hour. So you might have to wait until tomorrow to do that, or tonight. All right. Well, it's been a really good time. Okay. Have a great night, everyone. And we'll see you again Sunday at 7 p.m. your time.